And we are live. Well, feeling a little better. Got a shower in. Got the Shaggy Rifleman out there. Yeah, 3 lives in one day. That's like bonus footage, right? It was a lot of fun, man. The reason for the video is John Townley, one of our local friends here that comments, had asked a question of me and Ray on minimal gear. And I know he's out running through the hallways right now. Hopefully he shows up in a little bit. But it's some of the things right off the bat that I noticed. This isn't even really gear related. This is things that makes it so you're not complaining. Life is a little bit easier. That kind of stuff is like chapstick. Like when you go from the East Coast to the desert of New Mexico, that Ray's running. No, he's not running. Some weird noises in the hallway over there. The is like chapstick and stuff. So like he's like, man, my skin is dry. He had gotten some, I don't know, those little green cans of stuff that works really well for like your hands. But the chapstick, man, lips were cracking every time I'd smile or something. So just little things, little comfort things that you can carry in your pack that'll keep you, basically normal running throughout the whole day or the whole weekend. So things like that. I did drink more water than I normally drink. C6 Squad, what's up? Shaggy Rifleman. Darren Becker, how you doing? 54th, all right. I appreciate it. Yeah, 19th was good for us. Not so much good for Ray, but good for me. I had a great time. Things I learned from it, and I'm going to try to keep the topic, at least in the beginning, to what it says, and that's the minimum gear is what they had asked. John Townley had asked. Sounds like he wants to try to do it this next time around. And man, I highly recommend if you guys get a chance, yeah, hydrate, is to go do something like this. My favorite thing that I got to see during this match was a father and a son shooting. And he was probably in his 64. I think he was 64, but he was in his 60s. His son looked maybe in his 30s. And to see them shoot together was freaking amazing. And the reason for me talking about this is the minimal gear. These guys didn't go out there with all the gizmo Gucci gadget stuff. And it was really cool to see. So the secondary, which was the son, he was shooting the bolt gun or the gas gun. He had a minimalist AR. And when I start saying parts, guys, remember I'm seeing guys that are running stuff like this. I'm seeing guys that are running better stuff out there on the courses, and a lot of money is involved in this stuff between match fees and all that kind of stuff. But just to get the gear to even go out there. But what was cool about these folks, I wish I could have. They probably would have let me if I would have asked, but I didn't want to put any more burden on them. It's already enough when time starts and all that stuff. But to videotape those guys working as a team, being a father and son. What's up, Eagle Eye? What's up, Darren? Joaquin, Brian, Steve, Ranger 10. There's a lot going on. And these guys seemed new to the game. The father was a very competitive shooter back in the day, but he did a lot of pistol stuff. And it was super impressive to watch these guys. I was thinking the whole time while watching these guys shoot, I'm like, man, I wish they like this. The son, he didn't even have a bipod on his rifle. He was running a MOA style handguard on the stock, a very, very minimalistic AR rifle, folding buttstock. What else did he have on it? And I don't remember what scope he had, but it wasn't anything crazy. And the point is you don't need all this BS bullshit in order to go out and do it. Does it help? It does, especially when it comes to what I'm going to talk about in a second, which is their type of what they use. So the father, he had a range scope. No, he had a rangefinder, but it looked like it was working decently. The son had a smaller one. I don't know what the model was, but he couldn't spot You know, it wasn't like looking through binoculars where you can hit a button like these new SIG ones. These are so popular now. There was, I mean, probably 80% of the people were running those SIG. I don't even know what the model is, but they were, you know, and you go and you find the target, you click it, all of a sudden you got yardage. What was cool about that is like Ray would be all, it's at 325, you know, and I'd click and I'd be at 450. Well, I knew I could come down and somewhere now I'm getting closer just by clicking the button and finding out. But it was so impressive to watch these guys. As I'm watching this, I'm going, I don't think I could be as calm talking to my son. It would have been more like Ray and I, you know, the higher stress level. Yeah, the SIG 3000. So it would have been a higher stress level. And I think that would have sucked for our relationship as a father-son thing if he was to take it wrong or whatever. And so I was really, really impressed that these people were out there, father and son, shooting in a competition. And they had a few zeros. And a zero is basically they got a goose egg. They didn't hit any targets on a stage, and I felt bad. But at the end of the day, they had a smile on their face. You know, they were at the ceremony and all that stuff, and they had just as good a time probably as I did. I got 19th place. They got, I don't know what place. I know it wasn't anywhere close to 19th, but I can tell you that they probably had just as much fun as I did. Maybe more. Let's see. Let me see here. Hey, Rick, I tip my hat to you, sir. Think you did well for your first time. I appreciate it, Joaquin. It was fun. It was a lot of learning. It was a good time. But with that said, let's get back to the gear real quick, get that figured out, and then we can just BS and have fun like we normally do. So they didn't have all the gizmo gadgets. Now, I would say as a minimum, you should have at least a Harris bipod of some sort. So that when you're shooting prone, these guys used his backpack, the kid's backpack each time. Now they did carry a tripod. And you know, it was a basic tripod. It wasn't all these fancy you know, $1,200, $1,500 crazy tripods. But in most circumstances, it worked just as good or almost as good as some of the crazy stuff we were running. Now they had a, what did they have on there? It wasn't a hog saddle, but it was kind of like set up like a hog saddle, but they never really utilized it in that fashion where they clamped it into the rifle. They always just kind of set it down. It had like this black strap of some sort, maybe it was rubber, whatever the hell it was. Michigan Watch, how you doing? COVID squad's coming. Yeah, exactly. It was so they did the best they could with what they had, and I think thanks Luke, I appreciate it. That's what the point of the thing is. You know, on Ray's channel you're going to see a lot of top dollar, high end, you know, really cool stuff, and he does that for you guys not because he wants to show it off, but he wants to do it so you guys have options. You have the availability to see it, not have to go buy it, and you know, just give you another option of whether it's good, bad, great, you know, sucks, whatever the case is. He can give you the option of it. But that's what some of the things. So a bipod is a must, just straight up must. Some of the other things is the binoculars. So binos for sure are much better than the spotting scope. I'm talking about John Townley. Remember, sent that email, wanted to know our thoughts on. I'll turn this way.
No, you're good. You're good.
And so I told him that I was talking about that father and son deal and how cool it was. They were out there having a good time. Very minimalistic, like his AR, no bipod, no no free float barrel, no. What else was on that rifle?
It was a battle rifle. Had a surface grade trigger.
Yep. So that was the cool thing to see. But I'd say we talked a little bit about.
So you can do it with minimal expense.
Exactly. Let me see if we can get us worked out here. There you are. What was the other thing? Minimum gear. So you need some type of, you got to have a rangefinder. You don't have time to use your reticle and figure out how far away it is. There's just no way.
You're not going to do that.
There's no way possible. So you have to have at least a rangefinder. But that was a key, was the rangefinder with the binoculars.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a ton of savings. They did a good job. The son especially did a really good job of just looking out in the field and finding stuff. So I think he was military though.
Yeah, he was. He was Army.
Yeah, Army. So he had some experience with that. What else? With minimal gear.
Dad had a set of Bushnell binos. He was good at spotting the targets.
He was.
Guys, to put this in perspective, he was using a top-fed Remington 700 PSS, no detachable box mag or anything. When the match started, he actually, while his son was looking for targets, he was loading rounds into the magazine of the rifle.
Yes, he was. Okay, what's your lead time on how do I send it to you? Do I need to go to my FFL and have it sent to you? What the hell is he talking about? Brian Marks. Oh, he must be talking to Eagle Eye. All right. Let's see. So we talked a little bit about chapstick. Basically, we showed up on a Thursday.
Yeah.
And you're starting to get crunchy on a Friday, right? Just drying out a little bit because of the desert heat.
Yeah,
My chaps were
I
killing
always
me.
have chapstick. I had two things of Blistex.
So that saved my bacon. We talked having a good pair of boots, especially if you're going to do these hikes. Some
Don't
type of
wear
pack.
lightweight shoes that are like running shoes, because out in the desert,
Yeah.
I had one of the cacti, one of the spines went in the side of my shoe on my Achilles and on my arch, and it hurt like a son of a gun. You need some thick boots to do a match like this. You won't be laying down in cactus, but you're going to be walking through them.
Where are you drawing your targets on that whiteboard during? I actually mounted mine to the back of my backpack. So when I unslung it, I threw it so the board would be on top. It had a Velcro pin already on it. And I'd look through the binos and then I'd do this, but even it'd take a second to figure out where I was. Again, when he had his on the tripod, that really makes it nice because it never moves. You just write, you look back in the window again, and you can see where it is. But yeah, mine was on the back of my backpack. Yours was mounted to your tripod, and that was a huge savings for $7 or $10.
$3 each.
Yeah, by the time we got done, that was a huge advantage to what we were trying to do the first day. It was not working at all. So now that you mention it, Otter, Ray kind of looks like a drug deal with this from this perspective. Drug deal. Let's see. Anytime.
Give me the goods.
Give me the goods. We do have. We finally found all this stuff. Now we're gonna have to. This can't go on the airplane, I don't think.
No, we'll just leave that stuff here along with a case of water.
Yep. So they'll get some free stuff here. So what other minimal things do you need? I mean, I know you're used to having some of the top of the spectrum.
It depends
stuff.
on what you want out of it. If you're just going to compete and have a good time, which you can do, you can probably take, you can take a hunting rifle out there. You know, you can take a set of 4-power rangefinders and do it. It's just not going to be as easy. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but it depends on how well you want to do at it. Either way, you're going to have a great time. Yes. One of the things about this match is there's no waiting around. When you get there, your schedule of your team number, like our team number was 45, you knew exactly which time you had to be there in the morning. You show up 30 minutes early because they can bump you up a spot. They can do that up to one time. But there's no waiting around. Everything is well oiled with competition dynamics. I've never had a backup. I've never had a problem. I think the only thing that ever happened one time was a cow came out onto the firing range and they had to run down with a motorcycle and chase it off of the firing line or in the impact area. But that was, 10 minutes. That was it.
Yeah. When you had a time period every morning, say ours was at 9:15, right? 9:15 or 9:12? 9:12. There's 3 groups that leave at 9:12. So we went west, one team went north, and one team went south. And they kept doing that. And
every 12 minutes.
Every 12, yeah. And it was perfect. There was not people stacking up. You didn't have a bunch of people waiting and waiting for you, to come and get called up. And then right after you're done shooting, you basically put all your gear and move it over to the corner. And then you call up the next team, get your stopwatch ready, and it runs very smooth. It was definitely the smoothest running match I've ever been to. It was pretty damn impressive. So Zach and those guys did a kick butt job.
Now, this shall be nameless on this, but yesterday we had a group behind us that was I think a father-son, and the guy was just a complete and total jackass.
This is this was a step.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the group.
It was the boyfriend. It was his daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
This old codger, he runs out of 6 minutes of time, and I said, cease fire. Okay, that's common verbiage at a range. What are you yelling cease fire for? I was like, you're out of time. Oh, he got all bent out of shape. I thought I did something wrong. I was like, no, you're just out of time. Unload your rifle and show clear. But yeah, then he goes on to berate me because he's telling his son or his in-law, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
He's telling him to shoot a 220-yard target. Well, the in-law thinks that he's on the 220-yard target and it's at 400 and something yards. I'm looking at what he called out, the 220-yard target. He fires. I don't see anything. And I said, describe your target. While he's shooting, I said, describe your target, because I need to know there's 6 targets out there that range from 200 to 600 yards in a huge area. I've got to be able to spot it. He goes, well, you're asking him questions while he's in the middle of shooting to describe his target. And I said, well, he wasn't on the 220-yard target you told him to engage.
So we need to know. There's diamonds,
we need to know. I mean, it was his first time ever doing it with his son. They were out of Texas or something. The guy was just a plain old jackass. I've never ran into that in my life. Yeah.
He was getting frustrated. They were having some bad stages because they were basically behind us, so we RO'd him the whole day.
Yeah.
And you know what? People get frustrated. I understand, but
I can get frustrated with you. I know you. But, don't go to a match and be a jackass about it to the people in front of you because it's your problem.
Shabal Seki. Hey, Ray, was it the same match you ended up shooting alone? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Also great shooting, Rick. Thank you.
So we did have
Oh, this is awesome.
This is an awesome story.
Listen to this shit.
So you guys know +5 with the Death Squad does the Ace tripod. We put the feet on here, and somehow, I'm not going to say Ray, Rick was carrying it and a foot got lost. So we thought that was going to be off in a never land.
Mm-hmm.
Someone actually saw this out in the desert and brought it to the Lost and Found. Not the tripod, but the foot.
The little cleat deal.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I mean,
it was sitting
that somebody actually found it. We thought the desert would own it.
When we started the next morning, I still had the bipod. And basically I took it out each time and we'd video. That's how you guys got video footage for part of it. And the other part was Hugo holding it for us. And it was sitting on the freaking table like a lost and found kind of deal. I was like, holy shit. Somebody actually found that thing out in the middle of the desert.
And guys, I'm friends with Andy and Colin, 2 guys that won. And we were actually hanging out at their place last night because they were cooking antelope.
We hung out with all the top dogs.
And Andy actually said, this can be a testament to your gear. If your gear can make it through a Team Safari Steel Challenge, you have good gear, because you're going to be subjecting it to everything from dropping it in the backpack, your rangefinders falling over, you name it. But this is how you can test your equipment to see if it'll really work for you when times get rough.
Somebody had a great question. Let me see.
Guns were going down like crazy. Especially gas guns.
Oh, there was one team that had two broken
guns.
Two broken guns. So, question. I know the Sky bipod. It's the bipod, not a tripod. Is top of the line, but what makes it better than the Atlas? If I was to do it all over again, even though it costs twice as much, I would totally get that freaking stupid expensive. Now I know it's stupid expensive, but it does so much. We got one sitting over there. It's an amazing.
So
tool.
Guys, to answer your question on that, you have 120 degrees of cant. So you don't have to get your legs perfect, especially when you're shooting off of these rock formations that
Yeah.
none of them are flat.
None, not one.
You notice that there wasn't a ton of positions you could shoot off your belly. You could shoot some off your belly, but if you did that, you'd be blocked out from seeing the lower targets. You had to get elevated. Yes. Now, in their defense, CD doesn't like to use tripods, okay? There are some stages where you just have to because trees get tall, but that's not the original layout. They don't like to rely on tripods for shooting.
Yeah, this is a perfect answer.
What's that? Quick
heights deployment will get you a better shooting position.
And yes.
You go.
What's up, Kenny? And also the cant. It's
huge.
Crazy. And how much you can splay the legs out.
Because it doesn't matter if you only go halfway on this one and full length on that one. When you can it over to get your rifle back to flat, there it is.
Okay, so I'll do you a close-up.
We actually showed these guys.
So when you need the height, you can do this. Now, all I have to do is very quickly push one of these, and I can extend it here. Then I can push it again, and I can extend it here. Push it again, I can go here. Again, I can go here.
It slices.
So it slices, it dices. So you can get a really wide footing on this, and then
Don't make me spray you again.
Let's say I've got this leg on here. I'm trying to keep
here. I'll be the rock.
Pull it.
Oh,
like if I need to adjust, I don't have to push any levers or anything. And then on the top here, let's say it looks like this. You're already out of cant.
Yeah, you're already.
But on this one, look at this, guys. I'm going to show you so you can see it. I have 120 full degrees. So you see what I'm saying? I mean, you can have one leg all the way out over, and I'm still flat up on top.
Yeah.
So it can really articulate in a way that it's unlike any other one. And the travel on it's insane. So yeah, it's a lot of money, but you can't get this one right now because they're redoing the Gen 2 to do a toolless design on it, and that would be a great thing. And you can still fold the legs just like this too. You know, we can go forward.
Shaggy Rifleman, I say it's the best one out right now. I've had the ability to try all sorts of ones.
I'm not going to hit you in the head, Dick.
I'm going to spray you with this shit again.
You already did last night. I'll do it again tonight. You'll be sleeping with that in your nostrils.
What up, Tim Davis? A rear bag of some sort.
Is there a difference between a cheap hooker and an expensive hooker?
Yeah, there probably is.
That's a good question.
I would assume so. At the end of the day, it all works. Let's see, 158. Palmetto.
Well, one might do things the other ones won't.
Yeah, and they might look hotter. Yes, for more money than.
I don't have to put a bag over this.
That's right. Look at Ray getting out of control.
I'm not out of control.
I like it. Let's see. I really like my Atlas 5H if you're looking for something that has a lot of adjustability from Atlas. No, those are great. Atlas is great. I just noticed when you really need it. Like I was fumble effing around with my Atlas today trying to get, there was this rock and then this crack and then another rock. And you had to stay on this position, and the bipod's like right close to the crack, and then one side would fall in. It was a nightmare.
It was a train wreck.
It was a train wreck. That other Tim Davis, you should put on a video on how to use handheld radio like the military uses. See, let the boys spend a few days away from home and watch out. Luke says, I don't know if I could trust baggage with all that expensive gear. Oh, God. I tell you what, when we give them the rifles and off they go, it's a little worrying. You worry when you land, and you're just hoping that damn box shows up. You're like, please show up. Please show up. As long as you know your gear and can work it properly, it doesn't have to be super expensive. Great point. Like I saw not a bunch, but I saw a couple Harris bipods out there.
Yeah.
And they seem to work fine. The one thing about the Harris, though, it didn't seem, at least the one the guy was using, on this one stage, I don't remember what it was. I think it was the second day. He didn't have enough lift. He couldn't see over the edge of the, basically into the canyon.
Guys, you absolutely don't need anything like this. You really don't.
No.
But the time that you're going to struggle with something else just makes it that much easier in your life, okay? It's definitely not necessary. You can do it with the bare essentials. It just depends on how much you want to put into it. Everybody has something that they like to do. Okay, everybody has a specialty, and if your hobby,
You mean a hobby? Yeah.
yeah, if your hobby is this, it's all give and take.
It's like deep sea fishing. You can spend thousands of dollars on reels and rods and all the cool, badass, cool equipment because you can definitely easily do that. Fly fishing, same way, or
Yeah,
whatever you want to do. It just depends on where or golfing, right? People got how crazy can you get with a
you
golf
can get
bag?
crazy.
I mean, a putter alone, you can probably spend $800. So it just depends on what your favorite sport is and how much money you want to put into it. Shabalseki was asking about he ordered a proof 20-inch 5.56 barrel months ago, still on back order. Do you guys have any experience with any other carbon fiber barrel brands like BSF?
Let me ask you this: what reason do you want to go with a proof carbon fiber barrel? I mean, there's one on the rifle Rick was shooting, and it's a great barrel. But other than weight savings, which is very minimal, I mean, very, very minimal. Go with the stainless. Go with the full metal stainless proof.
Yeah, you got one on your AI right now.
Yeah, on my AI, that's a stainless proof. Doesn't have to be the carbon fiber. That's just weight savings.
Richard, he's going to run that all year, all the season long. He really likes that Maverick.
Yes, I do.
We were hanging out with Zach, which is one of the owners of Thunder Beast.
Yeah.
And they make great suppressors as well. It was really cool to meet the higher ups in the gun industry, from guys that make stuff to John Paul, JP Rifles, right? Yep. Really cool dude. Got to meet his wife. We met
it's his range. It's his facility.
It's his range that he had bought back, I don't know how many years ago now, but it was a range before that. He ended up buying it. But the all those freaking pro shooters that we hung out with, that's what they do, and it was cool to get some.
Yeah, all the Team Burris guys and everybody, we went to private, basically get-togethers at their house. Yep. So Rick and I, this isn't a dump, but it's definitely a step up from where we stayed at last time. But it's $75 a night. If you get in with enough guys, which if you know these guys, they'll all get homes and rent them. That's right here on the lake, and it's $100 a head for the whole weekend. That's the way to go. It really is. If you don't mind staying in a house with a bunch of other guys, but if you're trying to save money or something like that, I mean, that's going to knock off. That would have been $400 cheaper on us than getting this hotel. Yeah,
and like Hugo and his buddies, there was like 6 of them. I keep saying Hugo, but basically you shut out 8888. Man, it was so
awesome,
cool.
Dude, yeah.
We hung out with all those guys, went over to their house, drank sweet tea and Diet Coke and BS and had a great time. And
information shared. Even Colin. Yeah, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Colin's the one that won the match with Andy. Do you remember I put out a video that showed it was like, we're doing the back of the trunk deals. And it was, we bought the Kestrel pouch. That's all Colin stuff.
He got first. Goods. He got first place, right?
Yeah, he got first place. And I called it. I even told Rick.
He said it'll be
these will be the teams.
It'll be those 3 guys, teams that'll probably get it. Guess what? He was right. Always right.
Not always, but
pretty close. I heard Joe Biden wants you need to register your golf clubs, $200 each. Yeah. Jeez. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to fulfill the OEM orders. Yeah, Shabalseki. Yeah, they got a lot of barrels that they're supposed to send out to companies to make. One of them Ray knows, and I guess they're waiting on barrels. So did they do anything with the plant or make it bigger or something? And that's what slowed them down? I got no idea. Got Bald and Curious out there. How you doing?
What's up, Val?
Why did you put Ray in the corner? He's on timeout for me.
Timeout.
He wasn't very nice, Mr. Ray.
I got the hat on.
The
dunce cap.
I heard a jet engine from an F-18 on a Winnebago saves some hotel money. Yeah, the old Winnebago. Let's see. Another question. Do you do 15-yard zero point of impact, point of aim on the pistols or something else for a match like this or 3-gun?
About 15 is fine. Plenty good.
Yep. Let's see. Back. That's Rick. Coke dealing corner. Yep. That's. He's back there slinging the dope.
Yeah, right out of the hotel window right here. They just come up. It's drive-through service. Like
Otter says, try to explain that. Talking about the golf and having hobbies and spending, your hard-earned money on stuff. But it is true. The buy once, cry once theory really is. It definitely applies to this sport for sure. Luke Flotter's out there. Thanks for showing up, Luke. He's one of X-Rings subscribers. Came over to visit and hit that old subscribe button. So appreciate that.
nice.
Let's see here.
Guys, the biggest thing to keep in mind is we have a large group of people in this right now. You have 61 people in here, okay? You have the guys that are happy with a simple Timex. You have the guys that say, I'll never pay more than $100 for a watch. Just tells you the time. You have the guy that wears the Garmin, okay? A $700 watch. People are, you're stupid to pay $700 for that. You don't buy a Casio for $50. A G-Shock, $100. Then you got the guy that has, the Rolex, then the Breitling. So whatever. The point is they all do the same thing, but we're all different. Okay. That's why we all don't drive black vehicles anymore. Like was it Ford back in the day? You can choose any color you want as long as it's black. Yeah. So it's whatever suits you and your taste and your expectations. It doesn't mean one's going to do anything any better than the other. Okay. In this case, you are getting something that gives you more versatility than, let's say, like a premium Atlas. Some people balk at the price of an Atlas and say, I'll never do that. I just want a $70 Harris. It's up to the individual. You're not going to buy your way into a game because ultimately you're the one that has to pull the trigger on it. Same can go for pistols. You can take a guy that knows how to run a Glock, is going to beat somebody that has an Infinity.
That happens all day long. Actually, Yang kicks my ass all the time with this Glock.
Running a stock Glock, he does. So,
it ain't stock. It ain't stock.
Yeah, that's right. It's not stock. He's taking a polished.
Let me move this. Let me move this. Let's go like this. Grab that chair right there and go like this.
Which chair?
The one right there.
I'm good.
No, you come. Please. Trying to get packed. For tomorrow. Zachary, how you doing? You guys are talking about tripods and cheaper mid-range setups. Lee Photo is another mid-range brand that works.
Yeah, Leo Photo.
Yep. Yeah, we actually have a few of those for camera stuff, and I think you have one as well for once you get a certain point, you pay a lot for small increments.
Jeez, DW. Yeah, not happening.
Someday when you guys get really good, you can buy your own plane and fly to these shoots. Jeez, TW boy, you better step it down a notch. That ain't
Shaggy Rifleman. What does he say?
If better is possible, good isn't good enough. Just saying. If better is possible, good isn't good enough. It is for most people. I'll be a one that would say I go to 3-gun matches not because I'm going to win. I get to enjoy the sport that I like. I get to hang out with people that I enjoy hanging out with. At the end of the day, I know I'm not going to get top, 10 or whatever the case is, but I'm there to have fun and enjoy the sport and
learn.
People and learn. Yeah, exactly. So, and a lot of the people that showed up today, you had the best of the best. Then you had the guys that just wanted to have fun. We talked to those guys. Here's what they did. They were here last year. They figured out that what their percentage was of hits, and they had increased it from the last year prior. So that was a win for them. That's awesome. So, and that's the way you gotta. That's one way you can, So not everybody's there knowing they're gonna try to get first place.
I can agree with Joaquin. I am that person. Once I get something in my mind and I know that's what I want, I will make sacrifices elsewhere so that I get that. at least I will know. But I'll do my research just like everybody else. See if it's just a bunch of hype or if it's really the right thing that I need. And I just want to buy it one time and be done with it.
Richard Arthur's got a great question. Match like this, pair of guys that have never done something. If you don't mind coming in last place or third to last, I mean, when I shot the PRC out in Utah, I came, I think it was second or third to last. And I had a great time. And I walked away humbled. I learned a shit ton of stuff. And you just take that information and you apply it to the next match. And hope you do better. But me personally, I wasn't trying to get first place. I was trying to learn.
He was trying to keep his head above water.
And especially in Utah, holy hell!
Yeah,
here was easier. I had I had a partner to help me out. Screw that! I go every match to win. Intentions to win. Shoot for the stars. Well, that's because you're at that point. Value you're a good pistol shooter.
Shaggy Rifleman's got a great comment.
This one?
Yes, and it's very well worded.
Mediocrity is the reason.
They just want to get by for the most part. And I have a problem with that. I always try to strive to be the best. And it's some of the reasons, like if I go to a match like this, I'm hard on Rick. I mean, it wouldn't matter if it was Rick. It wouldn't matter if it was Tony. Because I am striving to try to do the best that we can. And
yeah.
They're going to happen. I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect.
I'm trying to do the best I can, but my best is not his best. Meaning,
but we knew that going into it.
Yeah, we weren't thinking we were going to come out of there third or better. But we had accomplished our goal, and our goal originally was to be middle of the pack. And then I guess we were there at a third of the pack, right?
Yeah.
Pretty close. So yeah, we had accomplished our goal. I've learned a lot from that. When I go back, I'll do better. And I got a whole year to practice. This is just what you guys are about. So relax, show us your friendship, and keep going. That's right, Otter. It's all fun and game. There's John Townley. He just showed up. This whole video was for you, John. So you have to go back and listen to that first portion because this is where we said your name and like talked about gear a little bit. I do it for having fun. Let me see what that says. Darren Becker says, I do it for having fun. It's great being around people who have similar mindsets these days. There was I did not see one asshole. Ray did.
One.
That one guy.
Saw him.
Yeah.
You were there.
But for 99.9% of the people out there, you could have sat and bullshitted all day with them. It was fun. You're learning stuff. They're learning stuff. It was pretty cool.
If you ever go to a match and it's your first time, don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. Pistol Pete, what's going on? Saw Mac put the Scorpion Evo in his gauntlet. Didn't fare so well. If I ever drop a Scorpion into the water, sand, dirt, and then mud. Man, that was I don't know. I like the Scorpion. Just don't drop it in the shit and it'll work just fine. Let's see. My mindset, as long as I keep, there you go. Perfect. Zachary says, I keep on progressing and learning at each match, then I'm set. Exactly, Zachary. I love the way you said that. That's my mental mindset. Go there to learn something.
So, guys, we went and bought these whiteboards. No kidding. The guys behind us pulled this out of their hotel room. It was a laminated channel.
TV channel
guide, and on the back of it, it was clear and it was laminated. So they used it on a white dry erase. It works. You just need something like this to be able to take those notes.
Tim Davis, Ray had won a 50% on
Spur
products. I had won a 50% on US Optics
scope.
Yep. So of course everybody saw the serial number, so it's probably already used. So.
No, it's not.
Let's see. So that's what we had won. There was great prizes though, cool trophies, and really nice top end scopes from Burris that the top winners won. So it's pretty cool.
And loophole.
And Leopold. That's
Mark
right.
Fives.
Yeah, those. What else was out there? There's a ton of stuff.
So I actually just finished day 3 video, and it's a good video to watch. A lot of learning in it. I'm going to upload it here in a few. I'll release it in the next 30 minutes.
Stanley binoculars over spotting scopes. Going from the Utah match, 99.9% of the shooters out there were using binoculars. Here, I didn't see one spotting scope.
Shutout said 100% binoculars here. No spotting scopes.
Yeah, I didn't see one set. I don't know if oh, there you go. That was the answer. No, I saw a lot of people's gear as they're coming through and leaving, and they're carrying them through the different courses, but I never saw one spotting scope.
Yes, we did eat some of that pig along with some ribs.
It was good. Actually, Jimmy had roasted up and marinated that big old hog. Yeah, you had it on your video, right?
Yeah,
because it wasn't on mine. It was good.
No, and here we go. So when you guys hear me shooting at the range, this is the downside to binoculars. If I'm in a spotting scope that has a mil reticle in it, if he's off, I can say come up a mil and go right a half a mil. With binoculars that have rangefinders in them and your dope and all that with your Kestrel, all I can say is you're low, you're left, come up. And I have no reference as to how much he needs to come up. And I could be completely wrong if I just guess. So all I can do is say, come up more, go right more.
They do not, Richard.
That's just the way that it works. Now, you can get binoculars with mil reticles in them. I have a couple of them.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is none of them have range finding capabilities.
That's the most
important. It's not there yet.
No, but it's damn close, I bet. Like I talked about this earlier when I was on Ray's chat. He would say he said 425, and I could click it, and I'd be like, "Oh, I'm at 325." I could go now. I know I can go up and 435. Click again, 535. If I just couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
So that is huge and fast.
To answer your question, Richard, they do not have a reticle in them. Range finding binoculars will usually have an illuminated dot or a circle in them, and when you hit the range button, I mean, you just have a clear field of view.
No, Tim, I don't think any. Well, I don't know. Maybe about the high point, highly unlikely, but military has that. Yeah, Michigan watch. What's up, Bizza Rizza Jizza?
Yeah, I'm sure those are very expensive.
Yeah, they got.
And out here, almost everybody's running Vectronics or Terrapins. Because there are a lot of military guys here, and they come up with that. I've seen a set and played with a set that actually have image stabilization with the reticle, with the range finding capabilities, but it's like $25,000 and it's huge. None of us are going to have that.
That was a coyote that swallowed a baby feral piglet. Let's see. Any other questions before we wrap this up here a little bit? That was fun.
70 people. That's a good
crowd. What was the most basic bolt gun y'all saw?
Remington 700 PSS
from that
the
dad.
1980s.
Yeah, that was the dad shooting that. I'm telling you, they had just as much fun as any other person there. And I was thoroughly impressed with them.
Yeah.
They weren't getting mad at each other. They were communicating well. And it was really cool. Like the dad kind of like had his arm around the son, kind of like steering him. And it was just really cool to see that. I was liking it. What was the most basic bolt? Oh, we just answered. Hit the thumbs up, Jack says. Joaquin, hit that thumbs up. Was the weather an issue? No, yesterday was warm, though. It was nice warm. Like I wore my Gulch gear, which is really thin and light, and you can feel the breeze blowing through it, so you can kind of figure out directions.
That wouldn't have worked today.
It was cold today.
Today was cold as crap.
It was cold. Ouch. Keep up your great stuff. Thank you guys for sharing. But pretty please, you both thank each other for obviously two different experiences, different backgrounds, but both great people. I appreciate it, Otter. Let's see.
Andy Armour. That's a great question.
Andy Armour. Yeah, I saw an RPR out there.
Okay, I can. But if you're much larger than I am, you won't. You just can't. I'd show you, but I can't because
it's live.
It's got a rifle on it. Yeah.
I'm surprised my dad would have ripped me apart. Yeah, and see that I was kind of thinking I would have a difficult time staying really calm under pressure, under time, trying to help my son. And if he was shooting the gas gun, like, man, I would have been doing the same thing that Ray was doing. I didn't take offense to any of it. I'm old and
he knows I'm a dick.
And he knows, yeah, I know he's a dick. But I think as a son and a father thing, that could really go sideways quick. So I was like really impressed and wishing I could totally do that, but I don't think it'd be a smart move. Let's see, one of the biggest things when shooting matches is target acquisition, so you're not hunting for the target. Yeah, Brian, a lot of these guys, they shoot a lot, and they can instantly know, kind of like they can just spot stuff out of nowhere. And he was doing a really good job of it as well. But these guys that do this a lot, you can tell instantly that they're just, there's 1, 2, 3. And
don't discount the naked eye. A lot of people want to grab that tool and bring it up. Look first, because some of them are right in the middle of your line of sight where you're going to be able to see them. Those are good clues.
Shabal Seki's got a question for you.
I've never used the Bravo company manufacturing barrels. I couldn't tell you. Now, I can't say I've never used them. I have used the BCM barrels, but I've never bought one. And they all seem to work well, but I would think the proof is going to be a better barrel, but I could be wrong. Doubt it.
I did see this right here. I did see it was an RPR. It did have a different barrel on it. And
that's what Jackass was using yesterday.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking of. And he was shooting pretty damn decent with it.
He was.
He was shooting pretty good with it, actually. So you can still shoot good and be a jackass, I guess. Actually, there's one right there. That worked out well. Let's see. What's up, Idaho Rogers? I just drove through Amarillo. It's mist and rain and only 36. It's going to get increasing. Damn, that's just down the street. I don't know how close that is, but we're like at, what was it, an hour from Texas right now? Something like that. Tejas.
Yeah, Kenny said, hurt my feelings. I held my dad's flashlight. Yeah, Ella's done it. Mini X has done that a lot. Here, hold this light.
Hold this.
Hold it where I told you to hold it. After about 30 seconds, they're just like,
yeah. Exactly.
Right here.
Oh, you mean left? I guess I kept doing that. When you're in the middle of chaos, he's saying, go right a little bit. And I was like, which is really my left. I don't know. It happens.
You're not the only one.
Was you all keeping your scopes on low power? I was. I kept looking at my scope after I get done with the match. I was doing this sometimes to try to find stuff, but at most stages I looked at it, I was like at 10, 8, 10.
I only touched my power on my rifle the entire weekend, maybe 3 times, and I kept it about 8 to 10, somewhere in there.
I did notice that I did not use the parallax like I should have.
I don't even think you touched it.
I did today because I remember going, shit, that's blurry. I need to. But that was the farther ones out there that I wasn't even supposed to be shooting at anyways, I think. If the father trains the son and it goes sideways, it's a failure on the father more than the son. If you're training in a relaxed mode, you can't expect to get results under pressure. Yeah, Ryan Fixer, they did an awesome job, though. I'm telling you, they weren't blasting and hitting all the targets. Their communication was good.
They actually did very.
They were calm.
They had a good time. But they actually shot very poorly.
They did.
They zeroed out on a ton of stages.
I had to write zeros on like 3.
Yeah, but that wasn't the point. The point was they had a good time.
Exactly.
I mean, they were really having a great time.
Well, so when they come next time to increase their score of whatever they got this time, it's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I'm viewer number 69. Yeah, what's up? Your friendly neighborhood dealer. Hit that MF like button like they owe you money. That's funny. I don't even know how many likes we have. It doesn't show me. It just shows 67 people watching.
Andy Armour, I always run 100-yard zero. Always. The only time I didn't was when we did the assault course, and that was anticipating there might be a target between 0 to 300 or whatever. And I just figured out for a 5-inch target that I would always be able to hit it if I held dead center. But no, on my precision rifles, I don't change any other zero other than 100.
Yeah, and we actually held 2/10 right, dialed it in 2/10 right before we shot that attack stage. Or I did. I don't know. What'd you end up
I
running?
put 2/10 in
as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. How's the e-dope card hold up? It's still alive. It's working.
Okay. I put it through the test. That thing was in a pack up against my rifle like this the whole time. I thought for sure I'd have a shattered screen.
Yeah, it worked great. In the morning, he would check his dope, sling alive, and then regroup his kestrel and punch it in, and there it is.
What I actually did was I did a couple different profiles from freezing weather when it's like 34 degrees to when it swung up to like 80 degrees. So right there at the top, you're going to see 70. That was for 70 degree. That was the dope for today. So I just saved those profiles in there as a just in case. And the numbers were quite a bit off, of course, between 34 degrees and 70 degrees. But it actually got up to almost 90 yesterday.
To answer your question, Richard, so I was hanging out with the guy that won last night. We were hanging out in the back porch, and we were talking about 22 long rifle, kind of, like a precision style rifle shooting. And he was saying he really likes for the cost, the Bagara. I don't know what model it is. I know the CZ457 is awesome. And we have actually the RPR rimfire, and it shoots well too. But yeah, he was saying that Bagara for the price is freaking kick ass. So pull any muscles, Ray?
I did. Today I was trying to pick up my pack this morning, first thing, and I turned funny and pulled a muscle in my back right here. It's part of getting old, I guess, but with that rifle, my pack weighs a lot. So that rifle by itself is 21 pounds.
Yeah, I think I woke up, my legs were a little sore, but once I warmed them up.
I wasn't sore at all. That was good.
Let's see what else we got. The Bagara is great. I love mine. Have several of their rifles, and they all have been flawless and shoot spectaculars. Awesome, Zachary. Yeah, I've heard great things about them. I haven't had a chance to put any rounds behind any of them, but I have heard great things. So I might have to pick one of those up. The Todd the Elster's Rifles and Reloading is here.
He is here.
Guys, if you don't know, the Todd the Elster's Rifles and Reloading.
A plethora of reloading knowledge.
No, if you want, hold on.
Clear, concise, accurate, and to the point.
Yeah, score.
Close enough.
Something like that.
Go check out Elster's Rifles and Reloading.
Knowledgeable dude when it comes to reloading. And all sorts of other cool
Where's my safety glasses?
That's right. He does wear safety glasses. I'll do this because Todd's here. I don't want to get in trouble. I got my safety glasses on.
Well, safety is a number one priority.
It's a priority. Come with me. Let's see. Mill plat trimming and or bullet pointing.
I have never trimmed the me plat on a bullet, but I don't do any ELR. Extreme long range shooting. I don't do any of that, so maybe it does help. I don't know. I know a lot of guys do that stuff.
Oh, Kenny's got a great question. What was Andy and those guys shooting?
6.547 Lapua, and then the other one was shooting a 6 Creedmoor. Most of the guys that you're looking at mostly are shooting 6 Creedmoor.
All right. He straightened out Coda Boy.
Tried to.
Try to. What are your distances for this precision rifle and how far? Actually, we didn't. Oh, for rimfire. PR rimfire.
About 350 to 400 yards max. 400, I've heard, is very out of the ordinary. It's typically about 365 as a max, from what I was told.
DW takes some stuff for leg cramps. We got close to the point, informative, entertaining, and protecting the Second Amendment. There you go. I was pretty close, though. I got to give you knuckles on that one. That was pretty damn good. My brain's not working enough to pull that one
Luke,
off.
that won't happen. That is not in my wheelhouse. I do not want to reach and shoot a 2-mile target because I will never own one of those rifles. It's too much money.
Yeah, if you have one of those rifles and you want to meet us out there so we can go shoot it, I would love to fly out there and do it.
I didn't say I didn't want to try it. I just
we don't want to buy the gear for that.
I'm not going to buy it.
That's like a $900 putting club for me, golf club. Let's see. Yeah. When you guys communicate for finding targets, did you guys figure out a method that works, like using a clock reference, like 12, 3, 6, 9? Yeah,
we tried, but when I say 3 to him, he goes to 9, and when I say 9, he goes to 3. When I say 4, he goes to 11.
No, it just takes.
You missed it earlier, but we lost one of these, and a guy found it on the course.
Yeah, I thought for sure that thing +5 was going to be stuck in the. So, don't worry about the sub is your 6 cover stuff, but we had these whiteboards, and we wrote. Does yours still have stuff on it? You can kind of show him. So he would range, and then you can see the dope. So like this one's 332. That was 0.8 for him. So he would find the targets, and then after I would attempt to shoot my targets, which today worked sometimes and not most of the time, I would jump on this thing and read them out to him. Now there was one stage that, see how all these have distances? It was on me. I should have done better. But there was one up top, and it just had
2.7.
2.7, but it had like this thing like this, but then there was one over here that didn't have distance on it.
It was at the very top at 12.
Yeah, so I was like, well, he must be talking about
give me the number
one
at the very top. And of course, I say 12 o'clock at the top, and he goes to 6. But anyway, I was gonna mention something that was very important. Oh, when you guys look at those numbers, you're gonna say, well, 322, 342, 462, 542, and 496.
We're shooting like this.
Those are easy. No, it is not easy. These are smaller than any target we shot at the PRS match.
They're that big.
Some of the targets are minute or just above minute. Okay, whereas most of your PRS matches, you're going to be looking at minute and a half or 1.5 MOA targets to 2 MOAs. They put some killers out there.
Yeah, you guys, that a 300-yard target, that's a normal target. You guys saw us shoot one of those when we did the assault stage. That was simple. That was ding, 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 ding. And then I shot ding, 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 ding. What did you ever tell them if you missed, they had to move up and all this stuff?
I did not tell them that.
All right. So on an assault stage assault 1 is what it was called. You had your partner, and then you had that dummy that you guys might have seen on the video. The bolt gun goes first. He has to engage
4 steals at 300 yards.
4 steals at 300 yards. If he misses, we have to now grab that mannequin, weighted mannequin, go up to the next mark. He has to try again. So let's say he doesn't get it again. So he misses, which we saw people doing.
A bunch of people.
Yeah. Now you have to grab the damn thing again, move all the way up again. Now he has to try. And at this point, if he doesn't get it, I don't know what happens. And then
then it goes to you.
Yeah, and then the carbine guy's got to go. Now you got to carry it again to the next position, and then you need to shoot
4 separate times if you miss.
Yeah, if you miss. So you needed to be very accurate and as fast as you could go accurately. Well, after shooting, smaller targets and all that kind of stuff, and being able to shoot prone in a perfect flat position and not over rocks and hanging off shit, it was simple. Bang, bing, 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 bing. Got lucky, whatever you want to call it. And we did really good on that course. But, yeah, if you screwed up, you had to start over. But you not only had to do that, you had to carry the carry the mannequin up closer. So
And guys, this is a true story. The edges that you saw us shooting off of, there's no guardrail. If you fall off of those, some of those, you will die. There's no coming back from it. Okay. Because they are straight drop offs. That's the thing is you want to make sure you don't drop any gear because it's going to be busted up. You're talking, some of them are only 40 feet, but then the others were way up there. We were shooting off these just overhangs. So it was really cool.
Luke, no, the secondary shooter, you can shoot as much as you want. Actually, a team that came in, I think it was 5th. It was the guys in the green.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's 5th, 4th, whatever. That guy would actually, in order to show his partner targets, he would just go tuk, 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 make a big dust pile and gaming it.
There were some people that complained about that. They were like, I don't know how we feel about that. So but he was using the tool. He was
using the thing. So back to the question, no, it does not. You don't get minus points for missing a target with the gas gun. He ain't heavy. He's my dummy.
My brother.
Let's see. And he probably weighed.
That thing was 220.
Was it 220?
220 pounds.
Yeah, 220 pounds. Me too. Let's see. Here again, but he did well. Those hidden old targets in the brush were the biggest jumps. Yeah, those things. Yeah, so the 3-gun the 2-gunny kind of thing, attack stages, those are really fairly easy just from doing 3-guns. So that helped. So we did pretty damn decent on those. Other than that, let's see. Finding the target was the hardest part. And that was you find the target, and then you go on your rifle glass, and then they're all gone. They're by. They left. Your steel targets that are bolted down to the ground on big old, a rack or a strap. Those things just move. They jump out of the way, and you can't find them ever again. What's up, Lynn Holt? How are you? All right, so it's been an hour. We're gonna end this. I got a ton of packing, luggage, and guns, and all that stuff. Cleaning gear.
We got dirt all over everything.
Yeah, I did get a shower though. I felt good. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe you learned something, and see you on the next one.
Conservative sniper hunter. No, they never paint the targets out here. These are the same targets that have been out here for like 12 years. No spray paint whatsoever.
What did you find? Last question. What did you find the hardest thing to do other than locating targets?
Locate targets. Find them in the binos and then refine
which is still kind of that. I guess the second thing would be communication. How about listening? If I could just listen better.
Yes. Key.
All right. You guys take care. You guys in Tucumcari. Yeah, we're right down the street from Tucumcari. Stay safe, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you guys on the next one.
This weekend.
That's right. We'll be doing this crap again in South Carolina in 3 days?
Yep.
4 days, something like that. Bye.